Hello and welcome to the next episode. Today we'll be creating quiz application using Trivia API, free Trivia Open API, where we can find some questions, we can get the knowledge level. So for example, books, we can make hard and start. We'll create a second and we can answer for ourselves the questions. Also, we can check if our answer is correct, if not. So what we'll be using? We'll be using Trivia Open Data DB. So it's free of charge. You can use it under the Creative Commons attribute license. You can check what is it over here. Also, we'll be using Node.js. If you don't have it, please download and install long stop term support version. Express.js also as a web framework for our Node.js. Axios to fetch data from our API, to get data from our API, and EJS for our, we can call it dynamic frontend. Okay, so move on to our IDE. Right now we are at Visual Studio Code. First of all, you should create public folder, and in the description you can find out the style.css that you can copy and paste the code over here. When you will have everything that will be correct, that will be okay. The next thing that you should do is npm init y, because to initialize Node application, I just done it and everything should be okay. It will take you just 2 or 3 seconds. The next step is to install all the dependencies that we'll use. So npm install EJS, Express, and also Axios. And press enter. We'll wait a few seconds. Everything is installed. Right now we can create our index.js. It will be our main file with the whole code. So first we need to import Express, Axios, and EJS. So const express equals require express. Also we need to create something more. So I mean we can create Axios, and the next thing that we'll need to create is of course our EJS. So require EJS. Right now, the only thing that we have to do is to call our express for app and tell our express application that we should change our view engine to EJS. Also, to use our styles, we have to app.use and express.static, and inside that we should go to the public. The last thing is to be able to get data from our body that we'll send from our main page is app.use express.url encoded and extended to false. Okay, and the last thing, of course, port. We'll now use 4000, and app.listen we will make port and console.log. For example, server is running. That will know that everything's run correctly. Okay, so we are almost good to go, because inside our index.js we need to create also the routes. So first route will be get, and it will be our main page. So request response, and inside that we'll just get res.render. So we will render index EJS file that we will create later on. And the next, and also the last one that we'll need is the post, where we will send the data to Trivia and get back the information from the server. So we need to make it asynchronously because we are using Axios. Request response and Cons will just get amount of the questions, category of the question, and difficulty. Okay, I think that it's correct, and we'll get it from body. That's the three main parts that we'll just get from our quiz API. And cons response, and we'll make await Axios.get, and inside the braces we need to go to our trivia, create some kind of category, for example music, difficulty easy. We also can have types and so on and so forth. For us, the most important things are number of questions, category selections, and difficulty level. So we'll just generate, and we copy it. It will be easier for us, and right there we'll paste it. Inside our numbers, we'll call it amount. Our category will be category, and our difficulty will be difficulty. Okay, so the next thing that we'll need to have is our questions that we'll just receive. So from our response that we'll receive, we need to get the questions. So response data that result where the questions and answers will be hidden, and res.render. So we render our application to trivia EJS that we'll create, and we'll pass the question. So that there will be more than one question, so there should be questions. Okay, and we are good to go with our index.js file. The next folder that we have to create is view, where we will handle and get our index.js and also our trivia EJS file. Okay, so inside our index.js, we'll create HTML document. Also, we need to link to our style sheet, so styles.css. And the next thing that we'll have to do that is to create our body. So first of all, we'll just create the class, the div class, the div name container. I mean, the class of the div will be name container of h1. It will be trivia application. And the next thing that we'll have to do is form, and we'll call the action. So action will be trivia, and we'll make a method as a post, because as you can remember right there, we are using posts, and we should when we are using, of course, forms. Okay, the next step, we have to style and make it more visible for us and for our people, that for the persons who will just go to our website. So label for amount, because right there we'll check and write down our number of questions. So number of questions, and we'll just get input type, of course, number, because we have to pass it, and name will be amount, because as you remember, we'll pass it later on. Value, so we can, for example, make 9 as default. Minimum value should be 1, and maximum value can be I guess that there will be no more than 20 or 50, but we'll just write down 20, for example. You can change that number as you would like to. Okay, we can break line to make it more visible. The next thing, also we need the label, for our category, and we'll call it category, and right there we'll make a selection, and we will just name category, and we can make some options with the values, and we'll create more than one. But I will show you the thing what you have to look if you would like to have another category. Each category has a number inside of it. For example, if we will just use sports and generate AP URL, wait a second, as you can see, category is equals 21. So we can use the sport category as a 21 and mythology as 20. So we can just get mythology as 20 mythology and 21 as sport. You can make more categories if you would like to. It's up to you. You are free to go with it. The next thing, also we need another break line, and inside there we should make the last thing that we'll need there, the difficulty. I hope that I am not misspelled anything incorrectly. Difficulty. And inside our difficulty we'll also make selections. It will be named difficulty. And inside that we'll create some options. We have to have 3 options: easy, medium, and of course hard. Okay, easy, medium, and the last options will be hard. Okay, right now break line, also button type, of course submit because we are inside the form, and start quiz, not quit, don't quit. Okay, right there we should save it and go to our trivia.js. Right there we'll also create HTML document. Remember to link to our styles, so styles.css, and here we'll also need some kind of script for our functions of button. So inside our head we'll create a script tag, and inside that script we'll make function show answer and answer ID. Okay, and there const answer element equals document that get element by ID and answer ID, and answer element that style that display, and we should make it as a block to make it visible for others. Okay, so going back to our body, we should create container, and inside our container we'll create, for example, some h1 with trivia quiz. Okay, right there we'll make order list to show our questions and answers. So we'll get the angle brackets opening and percentage sign, and after that we'll make get to the questions that will pass. Questions. Okay, and for each question we will get question and of course index. We'll need index to that show answer function that we'll need to pass later on. Of course we'll just create the block. We should close it right there because EJS we have to close each line by opening angle brackets and percentage sign and closing in the same way. Okay, right there we are creating list element. So our list element will have p tag as a first one, and there we will have a question, that question, and it will be our question for our quiz. And inside our question, as you know, each question should have answers. Like right now, it will be an order list. Okay, so it will be more tricky because we have to go to the question, and inside that question, there will be correct and incorrect answer. So incorrect answers, and we have to concat. So we have to connect. We have to make them together, stick together. Incorrect answers and correct answers, and then go through all the answers that we will be able to have. If you remember, if not, I will repeat. We've got two answers at the return of from the API, correct and incorrect. You would like to have a quiz, so we have to mix them together. That's why we have to concat correct and incorrect answers. There are some cons of that, but if someone don't know about that cons, it will be great. But it will be only count that answers should be in the same order. Okay, so we just go for each answer. Right now we've got answers, and we create the block. We close the JS tag over here, and right there we'll just list our answers. So answer is like the last thing that we'll need. Okay, right there we need also close that things that answers by that tags. Okay, if we have almost everything, we should see if we can see the answer. So inside our p tag, we'll create ID, and ID will be answer slash equals index that we just get for our for each loop, and we will pass it here. Also our style will be display none, because we don't want to see the answer right now. Incorrect answer will pass the question, that correct answer, and we can save it. But to make the question, to make it visible, we have to have the button that will fire on click. So on click, we will pass show answer, and we'll pass our answer that index. So I mean that one. We can copy and paste it over here, and we can call it show the answer. And we've got almost done everything, but remember that we've got LE element here. We should close it over here because it's one of our question. Right now we should close it from the tags that we are using in JS. We close our list, and we can have, for example, href that we will be able to use to start over the quiz. And right now we can cross our fingers and see if our application is running. So node index.js, enter, and something does not work. That's wonderful, because okay, I should use port 3000, not 4000, because I used to show you the application. Okay. 3001. The application should be over here. Server is running. We'll go there. We can create. We can go there. 3001. Index is not defined. We can go there. Index in JS. We are listening to the port correctly or not. That's the question. We are listening correctly to the port that we have to, but our index is not defined. To check if everything's correct, we have to go to the views, and inside our views we've just got index.ejs. That error tells us that we've got problem with our index.js, so we need to pass the index.js in another way. And also I see that I make some typo, and Gene over here will pass, will clear, and also will note index.js again. Server is running. We'll go there, recreate, and we almost ready to go, because our styles.css does not work because I make a typo over here. You should check if there's any typo in your applications. We'll recreate it, go back, reload. As you can see, there is also a question problem because we just passed the questions in the wrong way. So we'll copy it, go to trivia, remember to just send. Okay, we have to recreate our application. We'll just go back. We'll start our quiz again. And there is a problem still. That's the very good thing, because also I make a typo and you should take care of it, because there should be a results, not a result. And again, we have to clear it. Note index.js. The debugging is the best part of programming, so that's why we will stand with it. And mythology, answer questions. We should also make some adjustment over here, because we are missing the question, how we just call it. And to make everything clear and correct, we have to get to our question, that question, and the typo is over here. And right there, we'll just go back, start quiz, and as you can see, everything's work as it should. So I hope you like it. I hope you like it the most, the part where we debug and find all of the bugs at that application. And if you have any questions, leave that in the comment section, and see you at the next episode. Bye.